Are you plain bored of woodworking? Get excited again with Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit. Fisheye's Sandpaper Kit comes with everything you see here. Just pick your paper, spread the glue, and shake on the sand. Voila! Beautiful handcrafted sandpaper. And if you act now, we'll include candy sprinkles absolutely free. What better way to say I love you than with a gift of sandpaper? Fisheye's Make Your Own Sandpaper Kit is just $19.99 wherever crappy gifts are sold.
Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to what is this? Episode 67 of the hour before Thursday Night Live. It's April 27th, 2023. Just a quick rundown of the rules. No politics, religion, or racism. Kindness and respect are expected and required. I went through the chat a couple of times and had to remove some moderator pins. So if you see that you don't have a moderator pin that you used to have, well, there you go. That's why. So without further ado, here's my ever-suffering co-host, Mr. Jim Boshart.
Did you bring them back again?
Who?
That crowd that just keeps booing me.
I think they came from. Did they come up from Florida?
No, they love me in Florida.
Wasn't that a hoot? Wasn't that a great time?
Wasn't it a party?
Oh man, I don't know. That was something else. Hey, we've got a great guest tonight.
You betcha.
Should we wake him up?
Yeah, go ahead. Give him a shake.
Okay. Lloyd. Nap's over.
You're muted.
You're muted.
See, that's what I get for taking a damn nap.
You muted so we couldn't hear the snoring. I get it.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, I was trying to sneak in a nap before the. Thought maybe if I slept through the whole show, it'd be over quicker.
I heard a great quote the other day, and if snoring keeps you awake, you're not tired enough.
That's right. That's perfect. Yeah,
there
absolutely.
You go. So how you been?
Thanks for I've been good. Just doing my thing, just trying to stay out of trouble and keeping Judy comfortable and happy, and thus trying to stay out of trouble.
Well, you make sure you say goodnight to her after Ken's show.
I will. I always do. That's the thing. You started way back when, I think when, God, I don't remember when you started saying that to her, but I tell her every week, I said, hey, Gary from Canada says good night. And she always appreciates that.
That's always my thing at the end of Ken's show is a good night, Lloyd, say good night to Judy for us. So,
Yep.
But there are things about Ken's show that are familiar. They're the same every week. Right. And when somebody farts in the Raz, I always say, get much on you.
Yeah. We a lot of people. I mean, that's what we've done all over the years. These friendships we've made through this. There's certain repetitive things that people say, and you just kind of expect it. When you're in those chats. So
yeah. It was nice going to Florida. I understand you can't make those trips. It's pretty difficult.
Yeah. It's too hard for Judy. She just she has Parkinson's. That's the first kicker.
Yeah.
She had a stroke about a little over 2 years ago that really it affected her speech and her she's got aphasia, which is basically scrambled her dictionary. So it's real stressful for her to try and talk to other people. Even our kids can't understand her part of the time. My grandson was over yesterday. It was his 16th birthday, and he came over, and he's autistic, so he's very tender-hearted, and he come up to me, he says, is there a reason why Grandma gets confused and can't say things? So I had to explain to him again that she'd had a stroke, and he was just, it just bothered him really, really bad because he's such a tender-hearted young guy.
Yeah.
And so that prevents us from going a lot of places because sometimes I have to take her into the ER because she's having problems with her breathing, because she has COPD as well, and she's had lung cancer twice. So she's had and 2 heart attacks, so 2 strokes. So, and she's still plugging along. I think she's going to stay around until I die, just so she can kick me into the grave. Oh,
kick you in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff. You got a whole pile of grandkids then too, don't you?
We've got 20, somewhere between 21 and 23 grandkids. I lose track. And
you don't have a population sign on the front lawn,
No, it's well, my son from my first marriage, he has 10 or 11. I have another son from my first marriage. He's got 2 or 3. There's a few adopted ones thrown in there, and then we've got 7. I think our oldest grandchild, or 8. We've got 8. I think our oldest grandchild, she'll be 35.
Wow.
In November. So, and then we've got 11 great grandkids. Matter of fact, I think one of my great grandchildren just turned 16 or is fixing to turn 16. He's the same age as, we've got them strung out. So we've got them, running from, like I said, 35 or 36 going on down to, I've got a couple new ones that are 3 and 2, I think, or 4 and 2, something like that.
That's pretty new. When you can be born at 2 or 3, you got a head start.
That's how old they are. They're the newest ones. Let's put it that way. I probably should have phrased that differently. Thanks for pointing that out there, Jim.
Gestation period was 45 months.
Yeah. Well, my son that has so many kids, he can't keep track of all of his kids' names, so he just calls them 1, 2, 3. He numbered them. He said, "Dad, I can't remember all those names."
Be like George
number
Floyd.
1.
Just call
exactly.
Him all George.
Just call them all George. Yeah, we've got, like I said, somewhere between 21 and 23 grandkids and at least 11 great grandkids. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, you must have some Thanksgiving dinner, eh?
Well, believe it or not, we used to, oh my God, we used to have 20, 30 people over for Thanksgiving every year. But as time has moved on, they've all moved away. Most of the grandkids, a good portion of the grandkids are all adults now. As I said, the youngest one just turned 16. And so it comes down to usually our 2 boys and my one granddaughter that lives here in town. She's, I think, 30 or 31. And of course, then 1 or 2 of our youngest son's kids, depending on whether the other one comes down. But we're down to probably about 6 or 7 now. But we used to have, Thanksgiving and Christmas, it used to take us, I don't know, 2 hours to open gifts because we'd pass them out one at a time, and it's just like, it's like,
becomes an all-day ordeal.
It's like the South Florida Drone Meetup prize giveaway.
Pretty much. That's what it used to be like.
That was a couple
smaller
hours.
now.
Yeah, that was a couple hours.
A lot to give away.
Yeah, I watched that too.
What are you flying these days, Lloyd?
I fly the Avata. That's my number one. I fly it with the motion controller 1. I'm probably going to order the motion controller 2. But I fly the Avata. I just have fun with it. I have the called the Cinemotion. I have one of those folding TV tray tables, that you sit in front when you're sitting out in the living room eating. And it's wood. I screwed the base of it on there, and you slide this thing up onto the motion controller and put it in there. It's just like using a joystick on the flight simulator.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. You're flying the Avata now too, right, Jim?
Absolutely. I flew it today at lunchtime.
Nice. And you're enjoying it, eh?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's just a big kid with a little toy.
Yeah, it's way different than the camera drone experience.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'll have to look into that. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm at a point where, fixed income, retired guy, and I'm looking at do I get the Avada or do I go to spin up? And if I go to spin up, do I have to miss Florida? And you can't do everything, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we've got quite a crowd in here. Little Sharp Boshart's with us, and Scott's here, and John from Flying Flynn Media, Sean Idas here, Mike from Arrow Snapper. Did I say Scott? Yeah, Scott from Jackrabbit, Notice Brand, Barkley from 107 Drones, Warren from Akarasho. Dom is here. Boy, I'm telling you. Oh, Bill Hooper. Bill Hooper's got a show coming up on Saturday. That's all female drone pilots. So
Cool.
I don't know what he's doing there, just featuring them or interviewing them or what the story is, but might be worth a look. Sudbury Drone is here. He left a like, number 12. Oh, let me just see how we're doing here. We got 16 likes already. I'm not gonna beg for likes. If you like it, you like it.
And if you don't, Lloyd will feel like
yeah, I know. Drone Rob.
If they don't like it, I'll feel like normal.
Art Marco Drone Solutions is here. Joe Fotaleo, Mr. Leone is here. Who am I missing?
Did you say Sean?
Rod from Hot Rod in Daytona. I'm going to add him.
Sean Hyde. Everybody.
And
Sean.
Notice, not U.S. band.
Lee from Yellow Rose Drones is here. Who am I missing? Max is here. Max Air and Jerry Bauer from Ottawa. And
John
Flynn. I said John. That John?
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah. Rattle Trap Fishing. He's new.
Who?
Rattle Trap Fishing.
Wow.
How come he's not a moderator? Oh, maybe he is. I don't remember deleting him.
I don't see him.
Oh, you got to go way back. You got to go way back.
back.
Way back to 6 o'clock. The first one in was Russell Glarum at before 5:30. He was here before I was.
Happy birthday, Tammy.
Yes, and happy birthday to Tammy. She's not having a show tonight. So
apparently she's in her birthday suit, Max said.
Oh, geez. There you go. Happy birthday.
Yeah, he's got a tough life.
Oh man. So you're retired like I am, Lloyd. What did you retire from?
Well, I was in the Air Force back in the mid to late 70s I did 6 years in the Air Force. And then I just, did basic, within a year or two, I'd moved out here to Oklahoma. And within a year or two, I ended up with multiple sclerosis.
Oh, okay.
And I had to, I couldn't work. I ended up in a wheelchair.
Ooh.
And so, so long story short, my retirement is through the VA because they apparently either loading, because I was a weapons specialist, and so either loading up the Gal 8 gun on the A10 or with depleted uranium tips or Agent Orange or something like that. They said it was where that's what created the MS, and so they take care of me, and they've taken very good care of me. And,
That's good.
But I'm no longer in the wheelchair. Well, sometimes I am. With MS, it wanes and waxes and wanes, and it's just right now I'm doing pretty good. My legs are a little rubbery, but yeah, I was
steady as she goes.
Yeah. Right now I'm hanging in there. So
well, that's one of the things about drones is it can give you some mobility when you don't have other mobility. What else?
Yeah.
What else can make an old guy like us fly?
That's it. And,
right.
That's what I love about it, especially with the Avada now. I put those goggles on and I feel like, because while I was in the Air Force, I got the chance to fly around quite a few places, and I just love being in the air and putting those glasses on. And the good thing is they don't require as much coordination as FPV does. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I was watching a show the other night, and Tom Dowling was on, and he was saying he was flying, and his wife was with him, and she said to him, "You came pretty close to the ground," and he goes, "Yeah, I did. How'd you know?" She said, "Because you lifted your feet up."
Yeah.
You know. Oh, hey, look, there's Bob Casey.
Yes.
Bob friggin' Casey. Oh boy.
yeah. And he's one of the nicest guys. If you've met him, you know he's one of the nicest guys you could meet.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was fortunate enough before they went to spin up in, I think, 2019. He stopped by here at Mel, and he were on the way down to spin up, and he stopped by our house and visited for a few hours, and just as nice and wonderful a guy as you
Oh,
can meet. So.
yeah. Well, I had him on the show, and then met him in Florida, and he said that he was going to break a rib when he hugged me down there, but it was dangerous, but I got through it. So
Yeah.
just yeah, everybody down there was just so nice. The
Yeah.
place was just full of smiles. You know, I still get cramps from smiling thinking about it. It was,
Yeah.
it was
And
all right.
that's the thing about being in this drone community is, I mean, everybody, you put all your beliefs, politics, and all that other garbage aside, and just we have the one common denominator, and that's drones and the love of drones, and that's what makes it so wonderful. It's the one place that you kind of, I think of like Miss Congeniality, where she says, "Yeah, I want and world peace." That's it right there. We get the world peace by being drone pilots.
Well, I think for the most part, we're a very kind bunch. I think very caring, right?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's a lot of empathy. You know, if somebody's drone goes down, everybody's drone is down, right?
Right.
Wow.
Everybody, like, yeah, that moan, So, yeah.
Let's go find it,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're going to have to get together, Jim, and get a date for our drone meetup too, eh?
Yeah. Okay.
What do you
Sounds
think?
like fun.
Like June sometime?
What are you doing tomorrow? Yeah.
Nothing?
Yeah. I know it's supposed to rain now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll have to get a weekend there. And
Yeah. Now, Lloyd, I was saying during the pre-show that whenever I'm in a shopping center parking lot and I see a cart, man, I think of you. There's
Yeah. And to this day, I still do that. I mean, I just, it's one of those things that just, because of my own disabilities, I have to park. I park in the handicap spot a lot. And what gets me worse is to see 20-year-olds out there, and they just stop and put their car right there in the parking spot. So you got to get out and it's one of those things that just, I don't know, for whatever reason, set me off, and it became part of my weekly or my daily vlogs.
well, and you know what they've done here? I don't know if they have the same in the States, but they have a thing where you have to put a dollar coin in the handle in order to free the card up from the bunch, right?
yeah.
And
Oh,
so you've got
okay.
$1 invested in that cart, and if you don't return it, you don't get your $1 back.
yeah, they do that at one of the stores here, Aldi's. I think they charge for the use of carts,
Yeah.
quarter or something like that. But no, here they did finally get the upgrade to where they've got locks on them, so that if you take them out of the parking lot now, it locks them up and they're no good. So it's but other than that, and that was good because we had too many homeless people walking around with carts, and
Well,
was
now
just
the homeless people have to get dollies to put the carts on.
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
They've got the signs, but there's always some hobo out pushing it, even with the locked wheels, still taking it down the road.
Yeah, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
towing it with his Tesla. Oh man.
Going with his Tesla.
Yeah. So Ranger is still around. Is Ranger still around?
Ranger's still around. He's doing good, and I don't know if I've said this in a while, but what everybody did when Ranger broke his leg to pitch in together to help me raise the money to finish to get his surgery. That was a wonderful thing. I hated asking for it, but he was just about a year and a half old when he broke his leg. But yeah, he's 7 now, but he's still as big and bulky and as lazy as he ever was. After he broke he was Judy's service dog, but after he broke his leg, he retired from that because if she had fallen and she tried to use him to get up, we didn't think he could bear the weight on that leg. So
yeah.
But
that was kind of a
Ranger's still around, and yeah. But go ahead.
And you've got a couple other dogs too, don't you?
Yeah, we have 4 altogether, which is actually good compared to what we used to have. But we've got a Pomeranian that's I don't know, I think he's 9 or 10, and we have Bear, who turns 1 year old today. Our Chihuahua male he's a year old today. Wow. And the breeders we got him from were going to have one more batch of puppies. So I said, well, if you have a little girl, we'll take it. And they only had one girl, and we got her. So, and she's 5 months old. And oh my God, those 2 dogs I want to strangle them sometimes because they get to fighting. And I'm telling you what, man, that little girl, she sounds like a screaming banshee when she gets ticked off at her brother. It's like,
ferocious.
Oh my God.
They're ferocious.
Oh yeah.
Fighters, eh?
Teeth bared back, she looked like, oh my God, get back, dog, you demon seed.
Oh man. How do they get along with your who's the guy? The guy?
With Ranger?
No.
Old Joe.
I'm sorry. Either I'm skipping or you guys. I don't know if I've got a bad connection or what, but you said how do they get along with who?
Old Joe.
Okay.
Your ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, with my dummies.
Yeah.
They look at me like they look at it and they look at me and they look at it and then they just shake their head and walk out.
So what got you into ventriloquism?
It's something that I started. I'm like everybody else. I watched Edgar Bergen and I watched Jimmy Nelson and stuff like that. When I was about 8 or 9, I wanted a Jimmy Nelson dummy and a record. And so my mother ordered it for me for Christmas that year, and she ordered it through Pennies because they were selling them out the catalog that year. So it didn't come in. All I got was the record. So I listened to the record, as a little 45, and I listened to that, but I never got to do. And somewhere along the line, I got some puppets, and so I used hand puppets for a while. And it's just something that was back there, and then I started. Of course, then you got all the famous ventriloquists that are out there now, like Jeff Dunham and a couple others. And I was bored, and I thought, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can do this. And so I did. I ordered a stuffed puppet and started working with it. And, I'm not ever going to do it professionally. It's just something to occupy my mind. And it gives me somebody to talk to.
Because old Joe, he doesn't seem to ever be at a loss for words.
Yeah, he is, and he's got him and Gus. They usually have a pretty good attitude going with him, and of course now I'm working on my newest dummy, which will be called Justin. Anybody knows who Justin is? I don't know why I named the dummy that, but anyways, my son 3D printed the head for me. I got the pattern from one of the good puppet makers. I got the pattern from him and sent it over to my son, and he printed it off. And so I'm in the process of painting it, sanding it, getting it smoothed out. I want to do some work on the eyes, but the epoxy putty is just too beyond my talent level. So I'm just going to mount the eyes, and he's going to have the moving mouth, the moving eyes, and moving eyebrows, and
wow.
Then I'll build the body after that. But yeah, it's interesting how they work.
Yeah, quite a project for sure, eh?
Yeah, it's turned it probably a little bit above my skill level, but I'm I'm working at it. So.
Oh, that's great. It's all about, I don't know how I ever found time to work. There's always something going on, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And around here, I live in a house that's 100. Well, it was built in 1860, so something needs to get fixed every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Our house is like that too. But ours isn't that old. Ours was built in the 70s, and but it's like right now I've got in my kitchen. I still haven't replaced my stovetop that went out at Christmas time, but when I don't really need it that much because most everything I do right now is toss it in the microwave or put it in the oven and I'm good to go. It's like, I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm too cheap to spend the money. It's not that I don't have it. I just don't want to spend it.
No, and there's always Uber Eats or.
Yeah. Yeah. I usually, like Judy was never a pizza eater, but here lately she's been on Pizza Kick and we have a Pizza Inn up here by us. And I order online. It's ready in 15 minutes. I go up, pick it up, bring it home, and it cost us, $11. And we got, snacks for a couple of nights after pizza.
That's how it goes, eh? They give you so much food that you can, we get Chinese. We get Chinese, and it's 2 meals each.
Oh yeah, well that's Judy and I. I mean, we'll order Chinese sometimes. That reminds me. I think that sounds good. I may have to go order some Chinese after the show. We haven't. You just reminded me we haven't had any Chinese food in a while. I'll ask Judy about that. So
good stuff. Good. I'm just going through. Hey, we need to do. It's coming up to the half hour. Let me just put in the private chat a number. And let's see. Oh, that's a good number.
I don't see it. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it.
Top of my head. Okay, so in the chat, pick a number between 1 and 50, and
50 million.
Yeah, 50 billion. I don't see anybody coming up.
There we go. They're starting to roll in now.
Oh,
jeez. Let it roll for a while.
Oh, yeah. They're getting close.
Oh, actually, they've already got it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I was like, wow. I mean, those numbers were just boom, boom, boom right there.
Right there.
Mudball always throws in that pie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The first one in was Scott, Jackrabbit FPV. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, you had 32, then you had 11, then you had 33, and then 32 again. I was like, wow, that was quick.
Wow, that was quick. Well, that feeds the algorithm, eh?
Sean, stop. You lost.
Oh, man.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Oh, he's just counting up from.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You want to know what he won?
Stickers.
Yeah.
I've got a whole bunch. I've got the Brant aerial stickers. I've got them in large, medium, and we're all out of smalls. So we've got 2 sizes. We'll send you those. And then I've got a bunch that came from the South Florida drone meetup. I'll throw in together and we'll make a sticker pack. So email me your address and we'll get them into the mail to you. Email address is in the about section of my channel page thing. So
in the bio.
In the bio.
In the Scott bio.
In the Scott bio. Yeah. Let's see. We had somebody else. Oh, Steve Carpenter has joined us from SC Aerials, and I saw somebody else scrolling by here that I had.
Yeah, I thought I did too. We got Flying Flynn, USA drone flyer captain Joe America.
Highlight America.
Yeah. Oh, USA drone flyer. Does he get the? Yeah, Highlight America. I just made him a moderator.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, USA drone flyer captain Joe. Joe's here. Joe was flying with Who did I see Joe fly? Joe was flying with Johnny Drone Flyer the other day. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Then post that. So
Yeah. So between hockey games, I catch up with the YouTube stuff, right? This
Well,
hockey,
yeah.
I've been following the Western hockey stuff, like the Western division, and those bastards, they're on overtime every night. It's not like they're not rich enough. They got to get time and a half on overtime, right?
Yeah.
God damn it, keeps me up till 1:00 in the morning, and then the next thing you know, the dogs get me up at 6. So 5 hours sleep. I got to get 2 or 3 naps in the afternoon.
Wow, you just that's a shame.
Yeah. Now you were up
Yeah.
today. Were you up today at 4? You said, Lloyd.
Yeah, I for the last 2 nights, for the last 2 weeks, I haven't slept worth a flip. I wake up every hour, or Judy was waking up and I just, so night before last, I went to sleep at 11:30. I woke up at 12:30, got up, did the old man thing into the bathroom, came back, gave Judy an ice cream cone, and I went back to sleep. And she did too after she ate her ice cream cone. And then I woke up yesterday at 9:00 in the morning. And I thought, that's too early, so I'm going to get up. I laid there and finally at 9:30, I said, okay, I'm getting up. Then last night I fell asleep again early and tossed and turned a little bit. But then I woke up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and Judy talked about us going down to our cabin. And I said, okay, yeah, we can go. She said, I just want to go down there for the day. I said, okay. I said, you want to go now or you want to wait a little bit? She says, I don't think I want to go now. I said, what time is it? And I looked at my clock. It was 4:00, and it was 3 minutes to 4 in the morning. I'm going, oh, hell, I'm going back to sleep. Forget that noise. And then when I woke up later today, I've been tired all day. It's like I should have just stayed up at 4:00 this morning because I was feeling better. But yeah, so yeah, I was up early. But usually I'm not going to sleep until about between 3 and 4. That's when I usually go to sleep. So thus I need lots of naps during the daytime.
Well, there you go. Like this morning I got up at 6, had 2 cups of coffee and went back to bed, because if you have the coffee, that speeds everything up. So you can get 2 hours of nap time in about an hour.
Yeah. You would think, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you work it out that way, but yeah, it's nice to have the leisure time to, be able to just sort of put your legs up and do what you need to do, rejuvenate, and then get out and do something again,
Yeah, and well, with our lifestyle, with Judy's illness and stuff, there are times when she can't sleep and she's up all night, and I'm needing to get up and do stuff for her because she can walk, but very short distances. Like from the bed to the bathroom, or maybe from the bed out to the right outside our bedroom is where the electric wheelchair's at, and then she'll take it, go into the living room. But so if she needs something, I'm getting up. So my sleep pattern's always interrupted. And like I said the other night, I got the best night's sleep I've had in forever. So but,
somebody said, how'd you sleep? I said, I slept like a baby. I woke up every hour crying and then shit to bed.
Yeah. You get to a certain age, you got to start worrying about stuff like that too.
Not quite there yet, but did we mention that Bob Casey was here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Gary, Bob Casey's in there in the chat.
You can never have too many stickers. Oh, and just for the people who are wondering, the poster this week features Lloyd Mendenhall, number 78 on the old poster, number 107 on the new poster. Thank you, Scott, for making this poster so much longer. It's going to take me longer to fill up the new poster.
Yeah.
So he's in color on this poster, and he's over there on the wall right there, right next to Michael Wright from the last show. So, yeah, we get everybody up there. Who else is over there? Sean Hyde is on the bottom row. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, what's coming up in your channel?
Well, in my channel, basically, I used to vlog every day, and once Judy got after she had the stroke, I couldn't I use my phone to vlog when I'm out in the van. So I also use it to monitor Judy. I have a camera set up. I keep glancing over here because I'm checking on her because I've got a camera set up to where I can watch her.
Yeah.
And if, so I use the phone for that now. So I don't vlog like I used to. I try to, but I just can't get into it again. So basically I just do my live show, and occasionally I'll do a short with one of the dummies but every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 Eastern, I do my live show, and I have, it's basically a BS session with all my friends and acquaintances. We have Art and Dominic, and we had Jim on here this last week or this last Monday, and it's fun. It keeps me off the streets and out of the bars.
Well, yeah, and that's the whole thing is either you're making a living or having fun. If you're making a living, then that's work, and if you're having fun, that's a hobby. And let's do that. Let's do that.
Yeah, I started all this initially. I started on a fluke, but I started all this initially just as a way for me to, vent some of my frustrations. That's, I did about 2 years of vlogs, and I think I got it all out of, I think I got it all out of my system by then. So, but, and then I started cutting back, but I had no delusions of grandeur that I'm ever going to be a rich YouTuber, and, and it didn't bother me. It used to really, really bug me when I couldn't get those numbers up, but now I just do it for myself and I have fun at it. And that's made it so much more pleasurable,
Yeah. Now, without getting into politics, do you have a presidential run coming up?
Yes. As a matter of fact, right there, I am running it again for the 2024 presidential election. Art from Arco's Drone Solution will be my vice president, and that way we cover it. We get the long and the short of it when it comes to the elections. And
now, I have a question. This is a constitutional question. Do you have to be an American to be appointed an ambassador to a foreign country?
No.
Okay, so you could make me the ambassador to Canada?
Yeah. Maybe we'd get something done between the two countries if we did that. Yeah.
Okay, good. We'll do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're in the chat and you're an American, get out and do a write-in vote for Lloyd Mendenhall, the grumpy vlogger.
Yeah. And my theme is bite me, I stand for nothing.
There you go.
I did that as a joke because it was so confusing in 2020, and I thought, and that was one of my vlogs. Like everybody's got a point. I have no point to me. I mean, it's just it was just fun, and I had fun. And Rick Halber paid for the original poster, which I've still got here. It's a yard sign, and then he also Mr. Graphics did it, and Rick approved. Rick sent it to me and said, "Do you like it?" I said, "Oh, I love it." So they sent it to me, and they made me some buttons, and then I bought some more buttons from Jim Wallace, and it just turned into a joke, and
Now, do you talk to Jim at all lately, or?
I have not talked to him probably in about a month and a half. He was pretty down there for a while.
Yeah.
And he was having some issues there at home, and he used to call me, and because I don't know where he's at and when he's doing stuff, but he had some health issues and some financial issues, some stuff, and he's one of those that's like a lot of people that is dealing with some mental health issues, and so. Scott says he has a grumpy vlogger for president button. Yeah. And I did print some stickers out off of that, to send down to the, South Florida drone meetup, the grumpy vlogger stickers. But yeah, Jim's had some issues, and, unfortunately I haven't talked to him in a while, but I got kind of tied up. Judy started having some problems this year, and it got to where I was dealing with her. So it's probably been about a month and a half since I talked to him. But
Yeah.
you know, he's hanging in there. He's just not doing any of the printing anymore. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's okay. You know, as long as he's, you know, looking after himself and trying to get his mental health together, you know. It's something, you know what? It's something that you can't just walk it off, right? It's something that, you know, you need a professional to work it out, or you need somebody to be able to bounce things off of. You know, it's you know, and if you have a mental health issue, reach out to somebody, you know, somebody who understands, you know.
Yeah, and that's it, you know. Being from the era that I was in, you know, I dealt with some PTSD back in the day, and I got the help I needed and moved on. And but you know, it's something that you just can't, like you said, you can't walk it off. You gotta, you know, don't be afraid to reach out, you know.
Yeah. Now, coming up after this show at 7:00, if anybody's interested, there's a show. It's Rob Cosman, and he's a woodworker, and he has just started this week another class where he teaches hand tool woodworking to disabled veterans. It's called the Purple Heart Project, and what he does is, I think 4 or 6 times a year, he'll pay all expenses from wherever you are in Canada, the U.S. He's had people from Europe and Australia, all expenses paid, trip in, hotels, meals, and about $3,000 worth of hand tools that he sends back. And then he has a group called the Bench Brigade, who builds each attendee a workbench for at home. And
that's awesome.
You know, and he's in New Brunswick, Canada, and he's worked for some of the big tool companies back in the past, but now he just sells tools and runs this Purple Heart Project. So if you're not doing anything between 7 and 8, Rob Cosman is on. I don't know how to look him up. He just shows up in my notifications. But a worthy project for people with health issues arising. Basically Purple Heart recipients. And he deals with a lot of people with PTSD. There's nothing like the silence of hand tools. You know, you don't get into power saws and big noises and stuff. And a lot of these guys find it very, very soothing, you know, to be able to produce something. So it's kind of a neat project, you know.
That's cool. I will definitely be checking that out myself.
Yeah. And, you know, I guess he has 6 or 8 wounded veterans come in, and then he has 6 or 8 civilians who pay their way. You know, and then if they need the tools, they have to buy them. It's bring your own tools unless you're a veteran, right? And so it's something to see. You know, this guy, he just does a wonderful job. So enough about that. We're coming up close to the hour. Kids, grandkids, flying naps, retirements, shopping, our duty jobs, ventriloquist. What have we missed? How's things in Oklahoma?
Today, well, they're a little chilly this week, believe it or not. But as far as the state goes, everything's running along tickety-boo. We don't seem to have too many. We are blessed in a state that doesn't seem to have the strife and the division as severe as a lot of the other country. We've got, you know, we just all seem to make it work. You know, when I first moved here, I came here from Arizona when I got out of the service, but I'd grown up in Colorado, and I'm telling you what, when I came here, it was a culture shock. It's like, man, I'd stepped back into the 1920s, you know, prohibition and stuff like that. Like, what in God, but I've lived here for 43 years now, and I look at the other part of the country, and I see that we don't have those problems. We just kind of, but yeah, other than the weather, which I can't fly right now because it's been raining for 2 days, and when it's not raining, it's windy. So
yeah, we're not. I think both of our countries are blessed that we're not in civil wars and that kind of strife. We're not in the Ukraine being bombed. My son got a call on Saturday night, told to pack up. He's going. He was leaving Sunday morning, and shipped him off to the Middle East to evacuate Canadians from Sudan. So
Sudan, yeah.
So he's over.
Yeah, that's
there.
our next. Yeah, that's our next mess.
You get and it's just a matter of getting our people out. And I think we've got to try and restore peace there. That's what Canadians do. We're peacekeepers. But our first priority is getting our
citizens.
Own people out. Yeah. And we were very fortunate in that Germany picked up the ball and got 58 out on Monday before we even arrived there. And it's great to have allies all over the world. And just as you do down there. So
yeah.
And let's see. Hold on. We had a couple new people in the chat too. We had Jody from Drone Thoughts and
Drone Life RC.
Yeah,
Mikey Flying Zone.
I saw what Bob Casey put up there about Tulsa bad crime rate. Comparatively, it's not as bad as it sounds. The news likes to grab, but we still don't have. We did have there a couple of years ago. We had some bad crime.
He's going off that Sylvester Stallone new show.
Oh well, yeah. Well, and that really upset me that they've renewed it for a second season, but he's not going to film it in Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah. He's going to film it in Hollywood. So that ticked off a lot of the Okies. So he probably lost half his audience right there.
Where we are near Brantford, Ontario, which is sort of nowhere, right? They've got the streets closed off from now until the 5th of May to shoot a movie. Apparently there's a bank heist that's going to take 8 days to shoot. I don't know. I have to.
Okay.
I should probably go down there with the drone and just keep buzzing them.
Yeah. That would be a good thing to catch. Yeah.
But who knows? Where did they decide to shoot this stuff? I don't,
Yeah, I don't even know where they came up with the idea of the Tulsa King because, we've got that kind of stuff around here. We did have a big, because part of the premise of that is there's a biker gang involved, and we did have a big shootout between two biker gangs. The head of one of the biker gangs out of Tulsa got assassinated he was taken out by another biker gang that he had killed the head of their gang last year. So they came from Texas and returned the favor.
So what was your alibi?
I was taking a nap.
The classic Lloyd.
Perfect. Yeah. Slept through the whole thing. Joel, Mr. Skyfly has joined us now too. Yeah.
Drone Life RC says he's watching Tulsa King right now. That was a good show, and it wasn't all filmed in Tulsa, but there are parts of it. Part of it was filmed in Oklahoma City, but it was all filmed in Oklahoma. But they say for the new season they're not going to be. I say it was all filmed. The stuff in New York, obviously, or Chicago, wherever he was from, it wasn't filmed here. But Tulsa King was a good show. It's enjoyable.
Yeah, that's good. We haven't missed anything.
Uncle Bill just joined us.
Bill just joined us.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Let's just see. We got 26 watching and 29 likes. So if we can hit 30, we'd be doing great. I hate to be playing that game, but but you know how it is,
Oh yeah.
That's sort of my my niche in everybody else's stream. I get in there and start typing.
I know. Yeah, you crack me up like on Matt's show on Friday nights. It's just your timing sometimes is just so perfect. You come in there like,
well, his thing is he says I'm going to nick off, and then I click on the link.
Yeah.
And get in there and say, what are you doing? Like, why are you going off now? I just got here, And then,
exactly. Yeah.
And then we try and say, look, you can't stop until you got 40 likes, and we've only got 32. So let's,
right. And
let's get.
He's one of the guys. I have a ball whenever I get on his show. I love to get in there and just stir the pot. And when I say stuff to people, it's all in fun. And I love doing that, especially like with Justin and
Tim.
Oh, Tim, thank you. God,
Tim Jackson. Yeah.
I need another nap. It's getting near my nap time now. I gonna have to take a nap here pretty quick.
I remember one night they were making fun of Tim slamming the door, and he slammed the door on his finger.
Oh, yeah.
There was blood everywhere. It was pretty nasty.
Yeah. That's one of those shows I try not to miss. That and Uncle Bill's show. Those are the two shows I definitely try not to miss.
Yeah. You know what? It's about having fun, right? And as long as you're having fun, you can keep doing it. And I found that going every second week is a big relief. I've got a week with no pressure before I have to start finding a guest, and now that Jim's back, I don't have to find a new co-host every.
Yeah, and I was glad to see Jim coming back too, because Jim is I told Jim this month, he's a big part of this community, and you were missed. I can say that much. You were missed.
Yeah.
Is there so far?
Is there a bi-weekly Boshart this week?
I guess you'll have to wait and see what he says.
Oh, there's the hook, the promo to get us to watch Ken's show.
Yep.
If I could stay awake through it.
Yeah. That's me. Sometimes I'll put in I use a wired headset when I'm in my studio, but when I'm back there, I'm watching everything on my iPad, and I just put in my Bluetooth, and sometimes I just.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And we got hockey tonight too. So
yeah, I might tune into that too.
That could be trouble. Was it Vegas tonight?
No, Toronto.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. See, here's the thing with hockey. We can't have spring in Ontario until the Leafs are out. So we count on a first round elimination of the Leafs so that we can get on with spring. They can play
on with spring. Yeah.
They can get,
Yeah.
The Toronto make-believes.
Yeah. I used to follow, I told you about my grandson who is autistic. Well, here about 2 months ago, and autistic kids sometimes get overwhelmed by outside noises and stuff.
Yeah.
He went to a Drillers hockey game up here in Tulsa, and he had a ball. And he got up on the Jumbotron. He was dancing and doing his thing. And so it became a regular part of their my son and daughter-in-law's things whenever they're both off that they can take him. He loves, he got pictures taken with the mascot and a couple of the cheerleaders or whatever, He just had a ball,
That's great. Yeah.
And
I don't know. There's a good atmosphere about it, oftentimes. And I used to enjoy going to games when it was local. When I was very little, I think I was about 8 years old, my father took me to a game at Maple Leaf Gardens where the Toronto Maple Leafs were playing the Montreal Canadiens. And my mother had a relative who played for the Montreal Canadiens. So during the the warm up, my dad yelled down, "Hey, Ralph." And the guy looked up and went, "Hey, Frank, come on down to the dressing room after the game." Right. And I was wide eyed, like this guy was my hero. And went down to the dressing room after the game. They lost the game, but went down to the dressing room after the game, and out he comes, still in his hockey uniform, and says, "Come on in." We actually got to go in to the Montreal Canadiens dressing room at Maple Leaf Gardens, and I'll tell you,
Wow.
you're a fan forever. You just can't get over it. I met a guy that I can remember looking up, and there was a giant. It was huge, and he reached down and shook my hand. And he didn't shake my hand; he shook all of me.
Right.
It was Jean Béliveau, and he said something to me, and I think it was probably in French,
Right.
but it stuck with me forever. It was just awesome. Yeah.
I grew up in Denver, and they had an ice rink. They had a hockey team, a small, double A or whatever their league is, a small league hockey team. And my friend and I, we used to go ice skating on Sundays. His grandparents lived a block from the Coliseum. So we'd go over after church, we'd all go over to his grandma and grandpa's house, and we'd walk down there and we'd go ice skate. The thing was, we tried to get there as early as we could because there were always broken hockey sticks from the game from the night before. We'd go down there. We'd come home with 2 or 3 hockey sticks until their grandparents said, we've got like 30 of those in our garage now. You can probably quit bringing them home. So
you become a wood carver.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So we'd get those broken hockey sticks, and sometimes the guys would be there, and we'd get them to sign them, and but that was what I remember of hockey as a kid and ice skating as a kid.
Yeah.
I'd break a hip if I tried ice skating now, but back then it was,
Spent a lot of time on skates, and
I did too.
Can't do it at all now. Anyway, well, thanks for coming on, Lloyd. It
was an absolute pleasure.
Stick around after. Make sure you watch the outro because you're in it. And
I think my internet's acting up again.
Speaking of outro, oh God, here we go again.
Yeah. Good luck. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, goodbye, everybody. We'll see what happens here. Thanks, everybody, and thank you for the 30 likes. We got 30, so we made it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed being here. I appreciate it.
Okay, well, stick around. We'll have a chat after if you like.
Okay.
Let's see if we can do this.
Good luck.
Thanks, everybody. Let me just hear the present things, share the screen, go to the outro, and we're good. Thanks again.
special thanks to everybody that stuck around to the end of the show of the hour before TNL, all 2,417 of you.